Hello, everybody. Long time no see. It's been a minute since we didn't have our stream last weekend while I was in DC. How's everybody doing so far? How's everybody's weekend? It's a Major T, Juan Pablo, Peter Parker, Spidey on the side. You're endorsed by Peter Parker now. Well, bravo, me. What's up? What's up, Brandy? Barry's in the house. Not too much. Just took a little nap prior to the stream. So just woke up. I forgot to actually chill any of my wine, so I'm drinking like literally room temperature wine right now. Hello from Hong Kong. Love your Arcane reactions. Well, shout out to Hong Kong. Manaka. I'm glad you liked them. I was really surprised by that show. I guess like I completely forgot to take into consideration the things that we didn't get to talk about last weekend. Because obviously I wasn't here. So there's a lot of stuff we haven't really talked about at all. Just been working and cleaning. That's life, isn't it? Well, I've mostly just been working. Not need to do a little more cleaning. It's a reason this camera angle is the way it is. Flash is back. I'm so happy. Me too, man. It's been really strong so far. And next episode's looking pretty wild. What's up, Caters? How are you? Wearing the shirt of the goat. Yeah, I was like, I don't have any Oliver representation, so I got a couple of Oliver shirts. Some Arrow related shirts. Got this one, a Queen Consolidated, and then one that just kind of has like a silhouette of Oliver on it. How's DC? What's up, Stephanie? DC was fun. It was honestly, I don't know what I was expecting, considering it was not only a weekend but a holiday weekend, and I was like, it was quite active, to say the least. Wasn't too bad. Like, getting around wasn't awful. Went to the Smithsonian. Went to saw a lot of the National Mall sites there. I was only there for one full day. So I just we spent a lot of our time just kind of roaming around that little area there. And I had a blast, man. It was a lot of fun. My feet were really sore, quite sore that day. Not sponsored by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe one day. But I have a pair of Vessies. I don't have like the running shoes or anything like that, or really shoes that are made for walking for long periods of time. So man, my feet were blistered by the end of the day walking around. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was cold, but it was fun. Definitely want to go back and see some of the stuff I didn't get to see. Went to an IKEA for the first time. I wanted to go see a movie in IMAX, which as you guys know, if you've kind of been watching the channel for a while, or if you're new, you might not know. I've not seen a movie that in IMAX because we don't really have them around here where I live. So I was going to do that, but the only thing playing was Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I was like, really, do I want to see Ghostbusters Afterlife again? And I like the movie, don't get me wrong, but that's not really like an IMAX worthy movie to me. So I didn't go watch it. Actually, to be fair, like, I've never seen like a theatrical film in IMAX. I guess technically I've seen media in IMAX because those rides that they have at some theme parks are using IMAX screens for those like movement based rides. They kind of get you like swept into things. Seen one of those, but that doesn't really count. That doesn't count at all to me. You get to see the Washington Monument. I did. Big old pointy thing. I did. We haven't had this level of Flash quality for years. 100%. The first 3 episodes of season 8 average 8+ out of 10 on the IMDb so far. Flash really is back. Once we get out of this, though, like I've said, like I just want to see how it holds up after we're out of this little special situation here. I hope the main meat of the season holds strong. Have I watched Hunter x Hunter? I have not. What's up, Philip? What's up, Drew? Stixie. I'll enjoy this week's videos a lot. I'm glad. I didn't watch Arcane. I had no interest to, but damn, those reactions did wonders for your channel. Should I watch it? Is it fast paced? I mean, it's 9-hour-long episodes. They're each 3 acts. So like 3 episodes is act 1, 3 episodes is act 2, 3 episodes is the final act. Yeah, man, it's really good. As far as fast paced, I wouldn't say it's fast paced, but it's paced really well. It's so good. So good. The best TV show I've watched all year for me personally. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. It's morning here, so I take coffee instead of wine. Where you at, Caters? I just woke up, so does that qualify as morning for me? It's a Bragu. On my Christmas holidays, self-employed benefits, I take December and January off every year. I'm gonna be lazy and drink and eat. Well, look at you, man. Do it. Eat, drink, and be merry. That's what they say, right? Question, where do you live in the U.S.? I live in West Virginia. Lovely West Virginia. I mean, it is lovely when you get outside of the decrepit cities. Get some Skechers. I might have to. Cheap enough. Let's see. Dang, I haven't been to an IKEA. Apparently there's one in Charlotte. I always forget when I'm there. Yeah, I think the closest one, I think there's one in Columbus, and that might be the closest one. But we went to the one, I think the one we went to was in Baltimore. First time I've been in Baltimore in 7 years, give or take. Apparently Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness trailer is coming really soon. I hope it's attached to No Way Home, because I'm watching it in IMAX, and I know the visuals are gonna go crazy. Oh, lucky you. I hope so too. I really can't wait until we get the trailer for that. Really can't. You should also do Hunter x Hunter reactions too if you haven't watched it before. Maybe one day. I've been very wary about touching anime because those publishers are very strict about things, and I've seen like a lot of the channels that cover anime really kind of struggle. Now, when the final few episodes of Attack on Titan come out, I might react to those because I'm really excited for that. Really excited. How am I doing? I'm doing all right, Larson. How about you, man? Out of all the heroes at the West Party, who would give Barry the most trouble, excluding Thawne? Probably, I would have to say probably Adam. Like Ryan Choi, assuming he's the Adam now. I don't know why he'd be there otherwise. It's not like they've developed much of a relationship at this point. I would have to say maybe the Adam. Otherwise, everybody else there, I don't really know what the hell they could do for the most part. But we'll see. I'm curious to see how this episode is going to pop off, man. There's already so many images coming out of next week's episode that has me excited. Let's see. I started the journey of writing a show. It's a Green Arrow show, and I've been kind of watching my favorite shows and movies to help inspire my writing on the 3rd episode right now. Awesome, Peter Parker. Keep it up, man. Peter Parker writing some DC stuff. Look at that. Big old pointy thing. You're my favorite reactor. Oh, thank you, Manaka. Who would win between Iron Fist and Gilgamesh? Like, are we talking comic book? Or are we talking, like, Finn Jones from The Defenders on Netflix versus Gilgamesh? Because I would probably give it to Gilgamesh. Want to rewatch Arcane now since I finished it. Really good. Really good. I agree with that, man. Like, damn. Beautiful. I can't wait for season 2, man. Even though we gotta wait quite a little while for it. But I want an Eternals 2 or a Shang-Chi 2. Probably Shang-Chi 2 would probably be definitely what I want. I'd probably rather have a Shang-Chi 2 now than an Eternals 2. Because Shang-Chi was my favorite Marvel movie in a while. Oh, thank you, Beast007, for the super chat. Hello, have you bought your ticket to watch Spider-Man No Way Home yet? Because they're selling out. I did. I got our tickets for our theater up here. Unfortunately, the theater that I'm going to doesn't have reserved seating, so we're gonna have to go and get there quite early and make sure we get decent seats. Then again, I'm not all that concerned about it because, like, our theater is kind of a little rural, to say the least, so I'm not too concerned about getting seats. But who knows with this movie, man? Who knows? The movie theater I wanted to go see it at didn't actually put up or post pre-orders for it at all. Like, there was only 3 options. We got more of the theaters than that within, you know, the 30 or so miles around here. So, like, the theater I wanted to, the nice theater, didn't put pre-orders up. So I was like, shit, well, I don't want to miss out on tickets if I don't go ahead and jump on this. So I got it at the, that one, Brandy. We're going to that one. The Regal. The only Regal. Yeah. And it's a little dinky Regal, so it's not as regal as the name would make you assume. Hawkeye has been good so far. I love the relationship between Kate and Clint. I do too. It's really, I don't know, it's really cute. I really like how the show is, not that Clint needed humanizing, but it's really endearing me to Clint and his struggle as the only human left on the Avengers at the moment. Like, who's just a dude. I mean, I like it, man. He's like, what's the word? Like, he's just that weary world travel, just like so done with all this like eccentric crap kind of character, but he still doesn't let that make him like, he is cynical, but he still has like a heart, and it's very apparent. He just doesn't let it show that often, and I really like how this show so far is bringing that a little more to the surface. So yeah, I'm really liking the show, like, because like Kate's just bringing a lot of that out of him, and it's like a Hawkeye appreciation show so far, because like it's kind of self-referential, where, you know, where they're referencing his brand, how people don't really recognize him. They're not really into the whole cynical, like, devil may care, like, superhero kind of thing anymore. And that's kind of his shtick. So, I don't know. I really like their whole banter and everything behind it. Excited to see more Echo. Latest episode of Hawkeye was good. Kingpin coming? I think so. Blind Wave needs to put reactions up on their site for My Hero Academia? Is that MHA? It's another show I have not watched. Any plans for the holidays? Not really. Nothing special, at least. Just plan on chilling, hanging out, keeping up with the videos, because Boba Fett comes out in a few weeks, Christmas week. Cobra Kai season 4 drops all at once on the 31st, so that's going to be New Year's right there. That's going to be my New Year's weekend thing, is plowing through Cobra Kai. And then I think the 19th or 17th, one of the two, is when all of Witcher season 2 comes out. So there's just a bunch of stuff dumping later in the month, on top of Hawkeye continuing each week. But that'll wrap up the week before Boba Fett, and then Boba Fett's going to take that place. So I'm excited. I'm excited, man. That's my week. That's my holiday lineup right now, is just planning myself around these shows. After Armageddon, we are jumping into Interlude 2. It worries me. Why not jump into the next graphic novel directly? I don't know. I think it's like to transition the story, but I'm not sure. But after Armageddon Part 5, we don't have another Flash until March. Flash is on break until March, so they're gonna kind of, it makes me wonder like how the momentum's gonna kind of carry after that. Find it funny how people calling Kate Bishop a Mary Sue when she is far from perfect. Who the hell is calling her a Mary Sue? And how? She's kind of like the blundering, like, intern. Like, yeah, she's good at some stuff, but, like, she's also... What has really gone according to plan for Kate at all in this show so far? The live action. Okay, then yeah, I would probably go with Gilgamesh. I'm breaking the multiverse. Yes, you are, Peter. How dare you? Keep relating Kate Bishop with Vi. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Haley Steinfeld, man, going around this year. They really should do a New Gods movie. Well, they were going to. They were going to, but it's too closely associated with Zack Snyder's films that the WB doesn't want to touch it. What are some of my other favorite reactors? On the regular, I watch Blind Wave, Rejects. Of course, you guys know that. John's been on the stream here before. Me and Greg talk sometimes, but like, yeah, those guys, always my favorite. Blind Wave. I watch the Normies. Jay and Adam over at Previewed. I've been really digging their stuff. Those are the ones I've really been circulating back and forth between a lot here recently. There's a couple here and there that I like for some specific things, like A Goodwin TV for like Avatar and some of his anime reviews, and Attack on Titan. AG Chill, AG and Chill, I think is the channel name. There's quite a few, but my big ones are Blind Wave, Rejects. No particular order, because I don't want Greg being all salty over there. I love you, Greg. Normies and Previewed, man. I was sleeping on Previewed for a long time too. Like, I had seen them in some of the compilations, but like I hadn't actually watched one of their videos until honestly, I think it was Masters, when they started Masters of the Universe Revelation. I think that was when I actually started watching their part 1 of that, and then I was just like really kind of like fell in love with their kind of back and forth. Flash season 8 has been good so far. Also, the photos revealed for part 4 all but confirmed that Thawne changed the timeline, so he could, yeah. Yep. So we weren't that far off. Then again, it wasn't that big of a leap to think that's what's going on, but we nailed it on the head. You think Arsham could win against Ego? I don't know. I don't really know what Arsham can do. And all we know that Ego can do is terraform planets. So I really don't know. Do you think... oh, I was about to read the same question again. If you had a choice between green pill or purple pill, green pill gives you the power of all 11 Eternals, and the purple pill gives you the power of Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. Which would I choose? All the powers or swirly-do rings? The rings make you immortal. But but you can run really fast. I could fly, shoot laser beams. I could create shit with my hand. Yeah, I gotta go with the Eternals, man. I gotta go with that one. So I'll pick the green pill. I'm accepting Moon Knight to be Marvel's Fight Club. Do you feel the same? I don't know if it's necessarily going to be like that, but I can kind of vibe with that. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it might be, in absence of a Daredevil show, it might be the darkest, the grittiest thing that we have on the street level in the current MCU, and I'm all for that from what we've seen so far. And I'm really excited. And man, not gonna lie, I like Oscar Isaacs, man, as an actor and just like a handsome man. So I'm excited to see what he does with this character. What's up, Mandy? I'm doing well. Absolutely loved Arcane, and I am enjoying Hawkeye. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you liked Arcane, Mandy. Since they both struggle and did all that stuff, I feel like it's going to be like Fight Club. It is possible. I mean, there's a lot more personalities involved than just one Tyler Durden, so I can feel that. I think we'll get a season trailer for Naomi. Superman Lois is coming after Armageddon event wraps up. I mean, it makes sense after one exciting event gets fans excited. Yeah, oh for sure. Oh for sure. Especially since Naomi and Superman both premiere on the exact same night. So I'm curious to see how they pull that off. And I'm not so certain how Naomi's going to perform as much as I'm excited to watch it. I'm really curious to kind of keep an eye on how that show does. And I get why they rearranged things. For the first time in a while, they moved the Flash off a Tuesday. Not that that's a bad thing or a bad sign of anything, but like they're trying to propel their hit show Superman and Lois, using Superman and Lois that night to kind of shine a spotlight on Naomi. I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. I really hope that Superman and Lois doesn't have any of these weird breaks like they did last time going into this season, so that they can keep that momentum going. And I don't really know what to expect out of Naomi, but I'm very curious about checking it out. Again, really surprised Ava DuVernay is doing a CW show. That boggles my mind. Imagine Henry Cavill as Icarus and Richard Madden as Superman. Honestly, I could kind of see it. Richard Madden, like, after seeing him as Icarus, I could see him be a pretty decent Superman. He's got the jawline and the hair. So that's all you need, right? And the muscles. Unfortunately, the normies called her a Mary Sue, and the grifters are grifting. Yeah, the grifters will grift. Because I saw some people had pointed out that a couple of the big ones are saying that the show is too woke. And I'm just like, what? How even is, how do is? I mean, I haven't watched the normies' reactions for Hawkeye. Honestly, I haven't been watching anybody else's reactions to Hawkeye. I don't get that. Like, I feel like that one, she's flawed. She's screwed up multiple times. She keeps screwing up Clint's plans. She can handle herself in a fight, and that's like all we've seen her do successfully. She can shoot some arrows, sure. She's a great archer, that is established. And it's not like she just came from nothing. Like, while we didn't see it, there were decades of her training. Like, she earned that. While we didn't see it, it is established in her background, and it's established in that montage in the first episode. And that she wasn't just immediately great at it. Like, she failed. She lost fights. She got her ass kicked. She failed multiple times, and we saw her learn, get better, and progress. While we weren't there for that, the story was told to us that she had to earn it. It's just, people were just fucking stupid. That's all it is. I'm sorry. If in this case, and while I will say, like, some characters, I will say, are Rey Skywalker, huge ass Mary Sue. 100%. This is not that case. They have done the bare minimum of setting up that she is not in the show, at least, and they've done nothing in this to tell me she's competent whatsoever except that she can hold her own in a fight and shoot a bow accurately. That's pretty much it, and that's all you need, really. But again, when it comes to planning, when it comes to figuring things out, she's really rough around the edges. So I don't understand why people are just going out of their way and like kind of getting all pissy about it. When the Flash returns in March, people will probably have some sort of optimism for the show because of Armageddon. Before Armageddon, most people thought the show was beyond redemption, like Akasan. That's very true. That is very true. And Akasan has still been saying, like, because everybody's like, "Hey man, you gonna come back to Flash?" He's like, "It's a crossover, doesn't count." And he's right. I agree with that sentiment. Like, it is a crossover, and I'm excited for it right now. But the true test, like I've been saying, will be how it does when it returns in March, when it's not in this crossover phase. So I'm excited. I'm cautiously optimistic at this point. I think they know what they've done wrong, and I think they knew why the last season failed, and I think they'll carry it through. I hope so, at least. I just realized from the last episode of Batwoman, everybody lost their bases of operations. The Legends lost the Wave Rider, the Flash lost Star Labs, and Batwoman lost the Batcave. Coincidence? I think not. I noticed that as well when we were going through all the different episodes, that everybody has now lost their base of operations. It's a little weird that it's happening on every show, and I'm wondering if there's a point to that. But we'll see. The big emotional moments in the MCU, that's nice. Oh, that's sad. Clint talking to his son made me an emotional mess for some reason. Me too, man. I mean, I didn't like cry or anything like that. I've not like teared up immensely in this yet. But yeah, man, that was the biggest. Clint's love for his family and his love for just wanting to have a normal life. Like, it gets me. Like, that stuff that connects you to Clint on this human level. And that it's not like his biggest like fears and struggles isn't like, is he going to save the next person? Is he going to lose this person? Is he worried about the threat at hand? He's worried about just disappointing his kids and being a bad dad. And I'm just like, that hurts. Alex should rent out the tower to Team Flash and Batwoman. Hell yeah, man. Put up a little cot in there for everybody. I'm in New Zealand, by the way. Thought I heard you ask earlier, but the kettle was boiling, so I wasn't sure. I did ask where you were at, because you said it was morning. So yeah, it's the next day for you, isn't it? It's the next day. Amy Jo Johnson, the original Pink Ranger herself, is going to be directing an episode of season 2, episode 6 of Superman and Lois. Apparently, she was approached by Berlanti and Helbing in person to direct an episode of season 2. Recently, the filming wrapped up. I saw the photos of her and Tyler and all that, and I saw her name on the director's chair and stuff like that. Some of the photos going around. I was like, I even tweeted about it, I think a week or two ago, whenever that came out. And I was like, this is the crossover I never thought I wanted, but I want it so bad. Amy Jo Johnson, one of the first crushes I ever had is, and I know I'm not alone in that, but Kimberly, that Pink Ranger, it still does it for me too. I'm gonna lie. But yeah, I'm excited. I know she's done more behind the camera work in the more recent years. So I'm excited to see what she does with it. I'm excited for that, for real. Bought our No Way Home tickets for the 16th on last Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't have a theater near us with IMAX, so I'm just gonna watch it in a normal theater. Same here. I don't know, man. Might have to make a weekend of it. Once it's kind of died down a little bit, like out of the first week, maybe go watch it again in IMAX. I might make that drive to see that movie in IMAX. I don't know. We'll see. 10 rings from the comics. Oh, right. I think you're just clarifying on your previous question. Imagine Lauren Ridloff as Flash and Ezra Miller as Makari and Angelina as Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot as Athena. Yeah, I can imagine it. Just watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2 this week. I really enjoyed it and liked Jamie Foxx's Electro, but Harry as Green Goblin and Peter's parents' storyline were the weakest things in the movie. The Peter storyline is straight from the comics, but yeah, it felt really kind of ham-fisted in. I wish the movie had just been about Electro, even though I do not like what they did with his character at all. I do not like the interpretation of his character at all. I wish they had just picked one or the other. I feel like the Harry storyline, it just felt rushed because it just kind of came in somewhat towards the middle, and it was like there was no setup at all that at all about their relationship, but they had a really strong chemistry, Andrew Garfield and Dane DeHaan, and I think Dane DeHaan did a really good job with what they were doing, but I wish it had focused on one or the other, because Harry's storyline could have been really gripping, sad, dark, tragic, and I just wish they had set it up more and really committed to one or the other, and I think it would have helped that out a lot. I like Dane DeHaan. I think he's an underrated actor. And I just wish they kind of given him a little bit of the limelight in that, more so than they did. I'm loving The Flash right now. I'm hyped for each and every episode from now on. I haven't felt that way since season 6, possibly. What is one thing you would like to see happen before the 5-parter ends? I want to see Barry fight the Flash, or Reverse Flash. I just want to see them fight Thawne again with these power-ups. And I'm really, I know it's going to happen because we already kind of have the confirmation, but I can't wait for Mia to show up. I can't wait for Mia's episode. Isn't it freaking stupid? The Batwoman, Sentinels, Ryan Choi, we're getting our alternate future versions. I'm so pissed. I'm not. It kind of makes sense, but I can get why you're disappointed. You wanted to be their current present day, not just the future versions. But yeah, I'm not bothered by it at all. By filming wrapped up, I mean Josh filming the episode, shared a picture of her. Yep. Can you see any difference between the suits in season 1 and season 2? Yeah, the new suit looks a lot brighter and less padded to me. I feel like if Sam Raimi made a Flash trilogy or Superman trilogy, it would have been one of the greatest superhero trilogies besides the Toby duology. I like how you're not including Spider-Man 3. Yeah, I mean, I think Sam Raimi's he really kind of understands this superhero struggle, and I think he would do a really good job. I think he would, for real. We get a season 2 trailer for Superman and Lois as soon as it starts airing in like a month. Yep, January 11th. What's up, Johns? His actors accepted the offer of coming into this event. They approached Tyler, Melissa, Harwood, among others. We will live in a COVID world. What? I don't know what you're getting at there with that reply to Edward's comment. The Fortnite event was lit. Don't care. I tapped out after I got all the characters that I wanted for this season, and I haven't played it in forever. My current obsession is Halo at the moment. So I actually haven't played any Fortnite in a long time at this point. I don't hate Hawkeye, but I'm going to be real with you. It does feel like a bait and switch show. Clint Barton deserves his own solo series. How is it a bait and switch show? Because it's passing the torch. It's Hawkeye. It's about Hawkeye. Kate Bishop is Hawkeye. All of the MCU right now is setting up everything to come. We knew that going into it. That the show was about Kate Bishop. That was announced. That was the premise. In no way is it a bait and switch show. the MCU as a whole is in a transition from the old guard to who is going to be carrying it forward. And that's what it's about. Now, did Clint Barton deserve his own solo series by himself? I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel like that would have been... They could have written one, maybe back in the day, if Nat was still alive, maybe done one that actually focused on both of them and their backstories or something like that, but I like what they're doing with it. But in no way is it a bait and switch show. Or pulling a bait and switch. So excited to see more Ryan Choi, ready for Legends to return. Yep. Also, we're turning the same week as Superman Lois, so January 12th. I think is when those come back. Who directed their movies better? Chloe Zhao or Zack Snyder? And who would you want to direct your movie? I mean, I think Chloe Zhao did a better job at I don't know. It depends on what movie, because Zack Snyder has had some good ones. It just depends on what movie you're comparing. The only Chloe Zhao movie I have ever seen is The Eternals. And I thought she did a good job. She was actually able to get emotions out of people. Whereas in some of Zack Snyder's films, I never really am able to emotionally attach to any of the characters, except for in the Snyder Cut. I think that was the first time. So, if I had to pick between the two of them to direct a movie I was making, probably Chloe. I'll have to go wrap gifts and make dinner. Catch you later. Oh, thank you for stopping in, Brandy. Have fun and have a nice dinner. Imagine if Sam Raimi or James Wan directs Justice League movie in the DCEU, which I would love. That would be cool. James Wan's an interesting director, man. That'd be fun. It's just something about these horror directors, man. It's really interesting. I wonder what happens in 2031 on The Flash. Like, why wasn't Caitlin and Frost there at Thawne and Iris's party? Good question. I didn't even notice that they weren't there, to be honest, but yeah, I saw that come up from a few people, and it is puzzling, to say the least. Akasan reacted to Titans, and Cowboy Bebop refuses to react to Flash Armageddon. Not judging him, but Flash Armageddon is like 5 times better than those shows, in my opinion. It is, but it's... The thing is with Cowboy Bebop, he likes anime, so like there's a curiosity about Cowboy Bebop. I can understand why he would check that out over Flash. Flash has burned him. He hasn't enjoyed Flash in years, in seasons. It's been seasons, not just last season, seasons since he's enjoyed Flash. He's just been doing it because people have been asking him to do it and wanted to see him suffer through it. So like I get why he just doesn't want to do that when he doesn't like it. He hasn't liked it in a long time. I can't remember when he actually stopped liking it. I think if I remember right from our conversation, I think season 2 was like the last season he actually enjoyed of The Flash. And aside from that, he's just been doing it because, you know, obviously his fandom likes watching him react to the show. And he finally put his foot down after this last season. So it's going to take a lot to get him back onto it. Titans, I can kind of get behind, you know, at least the recent season, because it's transitioned to HBO Max. There is a curiosity if it can do better. I don't know his feelings on Titans season 1 and season 2. You guys know mine. I thought they were garbage and worse than any of the CW shows. In my opinion. So, I don't know. Personal taste, man. Personal taste. But, like I've said, I totally understand him not watching Flash, considering how his feelings on it have declined over the last decade. Even though it hasn't been around for a decade, but you know what I mean. Out of all the MCU Disney Plus shows, I've been most excited about Moon Knight, because I'm became a fan since his small appearance on the Ultimate Spider-Man series. Out of what they've announced so far, out of the shows, I think I'm most excited for She-Hulk. She-Hulk and Moon Knight, I think, are my two, because I think She-Hulk is just going to be a fun show. Though my interest and my eye has for Echo has been just elevated insanely because of what rumors are circulating around it. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. To be honest, The Flash has let down so many people. Exactly, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. You know what happened to William, Oliver's son from Arrow, the last time we saw him in the series? In the finale, he got kidnapped, and they never talked about what happened to him. We're supposed to find out. We'll find out during Flash Armageddon what happened to him. Because that was supposed to go into the Green Arrow and the Canary show that they decided not to pick up. So, we'll see. If Marvel or DC called you to do a main role in the universes that would be a mainstay, you could only do one. Which phone would you pick up? You guys know me. You know me. I'm a DC guy through and through. DC is my home. DC is my love. But if this was a movie and we're comparing universes, I would pick up the phone for Marvel, because at least I feel like I would have like a better shot of it being received well and one being good. So I would pick up, even though I have a huge DC lean and bias, I would pick up that phone for the MCU real quick over DC, because as far as the film goes and their universe goes at the moment, it's not even a comparison. Yeah, I would definitely answer Marvel's phone call rather than DC's, sadly. I wish it was the other way around, but to be honest, I feel like the Amazing Spider-Man films, when focused on Peter and Gwen, were great, but the other stuff struggled. That's what I've always said about those movies, man. I thought the stuff that was about Peter and Gwen were great. When I talked about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 with my friends or anybody else, when I was talking about the movie, I was like, yeah, that was the best romantic comedy of the year. The superhero stuff sucked. And that's how I felt. I loved everything that was about their relationship. And some of the stuff with Spider-Man, like that, particularly some of the scenes, because there are some great Spider-Man moments in those movies that are unrivaled. But the storylines outside of Gwen and Peter were never great. And but the stuff around them was great. Their chemistry was great. I mean, it made sense. They ended up dating on the set of that movie, and then, you know, it showed through in their chemistry, man. It really did. They were the most gripping thing about those movies, in my opinion. And I liked it. What do you think Eris's powers are? Well, I mean, in the comics, he's basically just make people fall in love with him. Kinda. It's like a pheromonal thing, because he makes people horny. Give or take. Rough translation of his powers. I think there's a probability that they'll touch on a little bit when Mia shows up for the crossover. Really curious. I love Future William. Me too. I do like Future William. And according to some dodgy questions that Kat McNamara has dodged in interviews leading up to her involvement in Armageddon, they are definitely addressing it. And I think in an interview here 2 weeks ago, they straight up confirmed that we will find out what happened to William in her episode. So we'll find out. Have my Spidey tickets on an early matinee show releasing Wednesday the 15th here in Ireland. See, I have to wait till we're watching the 16th, so it's a whole day, where I gotta beat the spoilers. Even though I feel like I've seen the movie with all the online stuff. I think with all the speculation and how people are just nonstop talking about it, I feel the same way. Like, I feel like I know what's gonna happen and how it's gonna play out almost exactly. I hope that's not the case though, but I'm excited either way, and I just don't want to have anything confirmed before going into it. Um, One thing that I didn't like in The Amazing Spider 2 is how Sony used and treated Felicity Jones as Felicia / Black Cat. Yeah, it wasn't very good. Like, her just as like as a secretary was really lame. Really lame. The Eternals versus the Ten Rings. I mean, the Eternals would wipe the floor with... It's not even a fight. The 11 Eternals would destroy whoever was holding the 10 rings. Do you think when Spider-Man No Way Home comes out that every movie theater will be filled with every single Spidey fan? I don't know, man. I don't know. I definitely feel like more people are going to be getting out to go to the theaters than we've had for any film up to this point in the pandemic. So it is going to be interesting to see how it comes out of this. Oh my god, my new video got 1.9k views and 90 likes. That's made my day. Awesome, SFF. Congratulations, my guy. That's awesome, man. I would actually love it if Jefferson became the new principal of Smallville High. Yeah, that's not happening. I would love if Jefferson and Clark talked to each other about parenting. That would be fun. That would be a fun conversation to have. I think Clark, Jefferson, Sarah, Kiara, and John will be in a special 10-year event next year for the Arrowverse 10-year anniversary. I hope so. I hope they do something cool for the anniversary of the Arrowverse. I love how the show is getting made because once sent a letter to Stan Lee and asked him to make it a show, and it didn't. No, he didn't make the movies. Aw, that's adorable, Captain ND. Athena versus Wonder Woman. You think Barry will get the gold boots from Mia? You know, I haven't really been thinking about where he gets the gold boots. You know, he got the ring from the future. What if he gets it from the actual future Flash? Gives him the boots. I don't know. I really don't know where he's going to get the boots. I don't know why Mia would give him the boots. I don't feel like he and Mia are going to have that kind of a relationship. I'm comparing the Eternals to the Snyder Cut. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I don't really want to get into that. I heard that there might be a Malignant 2 because I love the hell out of the first one. What would it be? They kind of solved the whole issue at the end of the movie. What would the story be? Gabriel comes back? I don't know. We'll see. Well, I mean, if they do, by all means, maybe it'll be like a anthology. Maybe it'll pick up on something else, but that'd be weird. I don't know. Malignant was one of those movies where I was very confused when I watched it the first time because I didn't know it was just trying to be shitty on purpose. But it was fun. Like, even when I thought it was just a bad movie, I still had a blast watching it because it was just ridiculously bonkers of a film, and I had a lot of fun watching the thing. But it is a terrible movie, but it was intended to be terrible, which is, does that make it good? I don't know. If you intentionally make a bad movie, does that make it good? I don't know, but it was fun. It's definitely a fun, wild movie. Clint is still having a pretty good arc in the story, even if it focuses a bit more on Kate. I agree with that, for sure. I really like what Clint's going through. He's learning to kind of appreciate himself, because he still has this, like, survivor's guilt, you know? He still feels like he's the one that should have died, even though he's got the happy ending. He's got all these things. We saw him see Nat, and you see that pain that he still carries around with him, that Nat didn't get to live on with everybody else. So yeah, and he's done all these things, terrible things that are going to be catching up with him throughout the blip. So yeah, man, I really get it. I think we'll get all the actors for the 2022 crossover anniversary. New footage of Steven as a Green Arrow in the flashback. That would be cool. That'd be cool. New Jack Reacher show looks promising, but my first thought was, so this is why they killed off Hawk. Yeah, I just saw like a few stills from it. Again, I won't watch it. I have no interest in watching those shows, but yeah, him going off to lead that show, maybe that's why they killed off Hawk. I don't blame him though, getting that Amazon money over the measly like crap I'm sure they get paid for the Titan show, and we'll see. We'll see. I think that makes sense. I wish they didn't cancel Swamp Thing just after one season. Me too. Me too, man. Me too. I love season 1 of Swamp Thing. It was really freaking good. Moon Knight looks brutal, and I wonder if he can take the Matt Reeves Batman. But I guess we'll have to wait till the show comes out. We will. We will. I don't think we've seen enough of either to really make a good judge of that combination. I like that Clint pushed Nat and Wanda to help people and put their past behind them. I'd like to think that now he'll give Kate the push to become the Young Avengers to help others. Good guy, that Clint. I know, man. Clint's had this like very subtle behind the scenes role that you just kind of learn to appreciate a little bit more the more things go on. And it just makes me like go back and definitely understand his frustrations with how he was handled in Avengers, like the first Avengers. But like how he's kind of played this mentor role for all of the newbies on the team and some of the other people on the team has been kind of fun. I don't know. This show is making me appreciate Clint even more than I did before. And I didn't hate Clint before, but I was never like, yeah, Clint, you know? I'm curious, which seasons of The Flash did I enjoy and did not enjoy? I personally enjoyed every season except the 7th one because they gave Godspeed only 4 episodes when he deserved like 6. 7 was the only one I didn't enjoy. That's a lie. I don't hate any of the Flash seasons. And I wouldn't say there's not any one that I didn't find episodes or moments or things that I did like. My least favorite season is probably, but if I had to like do that, least favorite is, it's a tie between 6 and 7. I'm sorry, 5 and 7. Seasons 5 and season 7. My favorite seasons are 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1 is still my favorite top tier. If I had to put it above anything else, it's still 1. But season 6 was okay. The Bloodwork stuff was cool. Didn't really like the Mirror Mistress stuff. I didn't not like it. It didn't do anything for me. I was just whatever about her as a villain and all the mirror stuff. But Cicada really annoyed the shit out of me. He had a cool first 3 episodes, but after that, it was the most painful thing to watch every episode. Was any of the Cicada episodes. Really frustrated me every time. And even though as a whole this season was so sloppy, well, not this season, last season was really sloppy, I at least enjoyed some of the cringe, you know? So they're both, I didn't enjoy season 5 and season 7 in different ways. That makes sense. You get 3 solo movies and it would be the cinematic universe. I'll be honest, I didn't see the set leaks and the poster for Armageddon. I would not have watched it. Like last Flash season upset me that much. Oh, if you didn't see the set leaks and the poster for Armageddon, you wouldn't have watched it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get you there. Honestly, I get that. I was gonna watch it regardless because I'm gonna regardless of how I feel, watch the Flash until it burns out. Because like with it and Arrow, those were the 2 that I really loved. And I do want to see it through to the end for better or for worse. But I definitely get that sentiment for sure. It's funny how Spider-Man No Way Home is the most hyped movie of 2021. Yeah, I mean, it definitely is giving the Snyder Cut a run for its money. I think it's the more universally hyped movie, but maybe it's because we've been hearing the Snyder Cut chant for years is why that's still kind of lingering in my brain. I think you're right, though. I think you're right. If they make a theatrical Arrowverse movie like the Flash movie with Grant Gustin, how much money would you think they would make? Not a lot, but probably more than some of the more recent DC films. Um, and there are rumors that there are talks going on about a possible Arrowverse film. Which, if that happens, I would totally be down for that. I feel like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is just overhated. I mean, it's your opinion. It's definitely my least favorite. It's definitely my least favorite Spider-Man movie. Like, out of all of them. For me. I actually love how CW's Justice League developed injustice protocols after they all fought Felix Faust. Also, the protocol can only go into effect if 2/3 of the members agree. I like that little detail, that little world building about it. It shows that they've talked about, their super friends meeting and stuff more than what we've seen. So the stuff's happened. I just wish we could have seen more of that interaction, but COVID happened, so yeah. Wonder what happened to that Scarecrow guy on Arrow. Not sure what his name was. Ragman? Rory? Last time we saw him, he showed up in Arrow Season 8. He was in the finale of Arrow. That was the last time we saw him. So, aside from that, no idea. Highly recommend Dope Sick. Michael Keaton with Will Poulter and Rosario Dawson were great. Isn't that like the show about the opioid epidemic? Depends on marketing, given how WB features don't give a shit about the Arrowverse. Most 60 to 70 million fans like us see it, maybe hundreds. Yeah, feel you there. Feel like Chucky was the best show of 2021, or maybe that's just me. Oh, it was a really good show, man. I think I just skipped a whole bunch of stuff. It was a really good show. It's a really good, the best, I wouldn't say that, but it was one of the most entertaining shows in a while. Here we go. Bye, Omni. Had a great time. See you next time. Keep doing great work. I'm proud of you every day. May you continue to succeed outside and inside. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I hope you have a good day. Is Stargirl on Earth Prime or some other Earth? It's on Earth 2. Earth 2. Who would win between Athena versus Wonder Woman? My bad. Well, I answered the question already, so I said Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman would whoop the shit out of Athena. Not even close. Will we ever go back to normal? Eventually. Maybe. New things keep popping up every few months now, it seems like, so I don't know. I really don't know. I think name-dropping Faust and the unnamed alien despot that enslaved Despero's homeworld are teasing them as villains for the next year's event. Could be. They kind of like what they did with Elseworld. You might be right. You might be right. Which would be cool. If Future Flash with the gold boots gives his boots to present Flash, do you think in that moment he'll leave barefoot or he'll have a spare? I imagine it like it's going to be like one of those things where it's like he's got a pair of boots under the boots. I don't know. That's just when you pose that question after I had said that, like, yeah, it just, does kind of leave you wondering. Is he just going to run off with his bare feet? Do you think the uncle in Hawkeye is Kingpin? Oh, yeah, like 95% certain that I recognize that laugh. Who wins in a room and walks out? Robert Pattinson's Batman, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, or Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight? I can't say. I can't say. We haven't seen. We've seen Moon Knight beat a guy who was already on the ground. That's all we've seen of Moon Knight so far. And we've seen some of Robert Pattinson's Batman get to work. But I need to see more of it to really say. Just going off of what we've seen, I'm going to default to Charlie Cox. Personally. He's got similar gear. And this is a year 2 Batman, not like an expert Batman. I think Charlie Cox would probably whoop his ass in a fight. That Daredevil. From what we've seen. That could change once the movie's out, but I'm going to stick with that for right now. I kind of like Flash, honestly. I think the stronger seasons outweigh the weaker ones. 100%. I agree with that. Also, Chucky was much better than I expected. They harp on the LGBTQ stuff a bit, but it doesn't kill the show. It's kind of the point of the show. I mean, like the creator is I mean, he's a member. So the show's always kind of been the Chucky persona and legacy's kind of always been steeped in that kind of thing. So like I expected that. I expected that in there. But I like it. It was very well handled. It was beautifully done. I really like the representation that they brought into it. The storyline was fun. The way they tied it into all the previous movies was really creative. I'm glad that Don Mancini got to continue his story, because that reboot film that came out almost killed his show and his plans for the character. And he created the character. If Marvel and DC collided, I would want a team that included Basic Spider-Man, DC Flash, Rocket, Groot. Cool. I'm saying that if they collided universes. I mean, yeah, that's okay. Clarification there. Rocket, Groot, DC, EU, King Shark, Ant-Man, Cersei, Cyborg, Dick, Harley Quinn, Droog, Scarlet Witch, Kingo, and Loki. Cool. Chucky was definitely one of the best newer shows this year for sure. That's my team pick. Hawk Allen Richardson said in an interview that he was upset that they killed him off and would have stayed for years. Just happened to get the Jack Reacher show really fast after that. Okay. Damn, that sucks, man. I hate shit like that, but I get it. Like, you want to do it for the story, but honestly, his death didn't really do anything for the story, except make the Titans question Jason Todd's motives, character. They could have done all of that without killing him. And he's like one of my favorite characters on that show, and they killed him off. So, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely get that. Sad times for him and Brandon Routh, who was upset to find out he got written off of Legends, which is another thing that I thought that Armageddon did kind of this little underhanded jab at Legends by focusing a lot on Brandon Routh and how much he misses being part of that team. He misses that legacy and all that stuff. Like it sounded like it was a backhanded jab at what the Legends showrunner did to his character, because he talked about how how upset he was to find out that he wasn't going to be on the show anymore on a podcast. Do you think the Batman will threaten TDK as the best Batman movie ever? It's possible. It's looking like it could. That's a tough benchmark to pass, though. So we'll have to see. But it's looking very promising. Which one was better this year? Marvel movies or Marvel Disney Plus shows? Definitely the shows. I think, because, I mean, what do we have movie-wise? Black Widow, which was not great at all. Eternals, which was cool, ambitious. And Shang-Chi, which I thought was better than the best Marvel film that came out this year. Easy out of the three. And I liked Shang-Chi more than any of the Marvel shows we've gotten so far. So does that mean the movies win because Shang-Chi wins? I'll go with that. I'll go with the movies won. I'll go with the... WandaVision, though. I'd say it's tied. Damn, but I like Shang-Chi. I'll go with the shows. I think the shows had better momentum overall. Because the other two movies, one win out of like four consistent, decent shows. One good movie, one meh, and one very mixed. I think the Marvel shows went out in the end there. So did you hear that someone wanted to add Ant-Man to Hawkeye because of the chemistry between the actors, but couldn't? Seems though they added an Ant-Man reference to every episode instead. That's a neat little detail, though. That's a neat little... I didn't know that. That's cool. Man, I wish they could have had Paul Rudd in here. That would have been fun. Am I glad that Supergirl ended? Yeah. Yeah, I am. Really feel like The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is the most hated. Is it, though? Most people that I've seen, and especially like with how it was received, that The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is at least better received than 2. Stargirls Earth 2, so different Earth. Are you glad the Supergirl ended? Yes. Eric Wallace said that the villains of the next 2 story arcs rise from the ashes of Armageddon Part 5. So I'm curious who they are going to be. He also said that Armageddon will spark and tie into Nora and Bart's storyline and involvement in the later half of the season when they come back. Imagine if the Arrowverse had more funding and had access to all DC properties. It would be so much better than it would ever deserve to be. It would be as good as it deserves to be. Let me fix that phrasing. Just curious. Would you rather have Kate Kane, Wallace Day, and Flash Armageddon, or keep Javicia? I mean, like I've always said, as much as I like Ryan, as much as this has nothing to do with Javicia, I care way more about Kate Kane than I do about Ryan Wilder. I'm gonna lie, one of the characters from Arrow that I didn't really like was that one chick who decided to switch sides and decided to join Adrian Chase. Artemis? That was supposed to be like a play on Artemis Croc, who does a similar thing within the Teen Titans at one point. Or no, against Green Arrow at one point in the comics. So they were trying to do that. It just didn't really work. Was her name like Evelyn or something like that? I can't remember. I know who you're talking about. And yeah, that was really forced. I didn't like that. Though that season was fire. And Adrian Chase as Prometheus was awesome. Great villain. Oh, we get a cool moment between Barry and Mia bonding over Oliver. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. Have I ever played Heavy Rain? I have not. Not at all. I've seen a little bit of it. I played the demo when they released it, but I never actually played the full game. I'm hyped for Halo Infinite. The campaign is looking so good thus far. Are you going to be live streaming the campaign on YouTube? I will. I do plan to. Thankfully, it comes out while everything else is slowed down, so we'll be able to do that. I will be playing the campaign on stream. I've been playing the shit out of the multiplayer. I got Diamond 1 in ranked, so I'm proud of that. I've been playing when I'm not making a video, when I'm not working, and hell, sometimes when I am working and there's nothing to do, I'm playing Halo. Yeah, I've been playing way too much of Halo so far. I can't wait. Next week they're finally adding new playlists to the multiplayer lineup. I wonder if Barry and Sarah will still talk to each other. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. I don't know why they wouldn't. Imagine if Doctor Strange 2 kept its release date, then we would have had the Batman Doctor Strange 2 in the same month. Woo! That would be some month, man. That would be some month. I think Pattinson is too new against DD and Moon Knight. And if it's just Ben's Batman, he'd whoop. Yeah, if it was Batfleck, if it was Ben Affleck's Batman, he would raffle stomp the fuck out of Moon Knight and Daredevil. Like, not even remotely close. Like, he would just Hulk through them both. Regardless of, like, the weird writing decisions that I still don't like or agree with in some of the early DCEU films, Ben Affleck is still my favorite live-action Batman currently. Really want to see a proper Flash and White Canary team up. Me too, man. Me too. Can't wait for Army of the Dead 2. I'm really excited to see what they do with that universe, man. They hinted at more weird wormhole shit and more dreamscape future predictions and parallel worlds and stuff in Army of Thieves. So God knows what's going to happen at one point or another. Yeah, Chucky was done well. The only big issue is that Dawn contradicts Curse with how Charles got killed. In Curse, if you remember, it was Nika's mom who called the cops. In Chucky, it states Tiffany. I have to rewatch that. There's that. I think there's another contradiction in there too. That I don't. I think it has to do with. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it involves like the jail time that Charles did. Doesn't get mentioned at all in the show. Don Mancini doesn't hate anyone from the 2019 reboot. Rather, he hates the studio. I didn't say he did. Honestly, Chucky is good, and I am surprised. I will love if Mark Hamill shows up on Chucky. That'd be cool. And I didn't hate the reboot itself. I thought it was okay. It was interesting. It was different. Very different. How it starts is dumb, but it was different. Yeah, I didn't mind it. Do you think if they cancel Titans, maybe we could get Teen Titans back? No. Nope. I mean, we still have Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go is why Teen Titans got canceled. So, I don't know, man. You think we could get a Loki and Thor reunion? Maybe. Maybe. That'd be cool. I'd really like to see this Loki meet Thor. And I'd like to see that interaction. I'd love to see a crossover between the two Chucky universes, Brad's Chucky and Mark's Chucky. That would be hilarious. It'd be weird. The supernatural Chucky versus the technological Chucky. Imagine if the Eternals were real and we're giving out powers and immortality for free. Would you get 3 powers, and what 3 would you get? Makari's super speed, Icarus's laser vision, and his eyes, because his powers apparently include multiple things. So his thing, and Droog's mind powers. They told Alan Richardson they had to trim the cast size. Guess Mika Dove got the same call. I don't think the Rose Jericho actors got a call. Actress said she didn't know why she's not back. Ooh, yikes. Damn, that sucks, man. It just goes to show that they just mishandled those first 2 seasons, man. And this is the result of that. Like, you get like shitty stuff like that happening to these actors. You think there will ever be another Portals Endgame moment? I don't know, man. That's going to be anything in Endgame is going to be a really hard moment to top. One day, maybe. They did Artemis dirty in Arrow Season 5. Artemis is best in Young Justice. I agree. Yeah, 100%. Artemis is great in Young Justice. Afternoon, everybody. Welcome, Kyle. Did Stargirl ever talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths? No. No, because that Earth was born after Crisis on Infinite Earths. They weren't aware at all that it had happened. They don't know anything about it. So it wouldn't make sense for it to come up. Because it's a brand new Earth too. Do you think every MCU movie should talk about the blip or whether the characters in the movie survived it or not? No, I don't think they need to keep talking about it. I think at this point we can kind of just assume who survived and who didn't. I don't think it needs to be just hammered in every single movie. And eventually, like, so far, Hawkeye has not really referenced it at all. Imagine if Shang-Chi and the Eternals were Infinity War. I think they would have got... I think would have gotten curd stomped. I think you left out a name or a word there. I would love to see Young Justice, Artemis, and Arrow, and actually prefer to Oliver like Roy because I felt like the rest of the team wasn't that. Love seeing a Young Justice, Artemis, and Arrow, and actually a partner to Oliver like Roy was. Okay, I see what you mean there, because I felt like the rest of the team wasn't that. I feel you there. I feel you there. What's up, Chuck Norris? Curious to know whether the blip had an impact on the 10 rings, the people in the lives of the Eternals like Dane, etc. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions like that, but I don't know. I really wish Endgame didn't get dethroned by Avatar in the box office. Me too. And it only happened because they re-released the movie again. That's the only reason. Disney owns both movies, so it was just like, let's get some more money. Yeah, it's just really annoying. Really annoying. And I wouldn't be so annoyed about it if I just thought Avatar was actually a good movie. Inflated ticket prices, 3D. It's just not a good movie. God damn it, man. It's so annoying. Anyway, what superhero has been introduced in the MCU you would want to play that hasn't been introduced? And that hasn't been introduced that I would want to play? Well, out of characters they've introduced, I'd love to play like a Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's my favorite character. That they haven't introduced. I don't know. Maybe Gambit. No, I couldn't do a Gambit. I couldn't do that accent at all. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question though. Felt like the crowd at Thawne and Iris's party was weird. Like Alex, Ryan, Choi, it felt off. Out of people, all people, Ryan said what he is doing here kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I love that cliffhanger. Yeah, I didn't get that feeling. It's like however many years later, like who knows what's going on or who could have been there. Wait, Chucky was in jail? I don't remember that in any film. I know there was a Child's Play 2 novel, but that's not canon. Whereas Chucky joined jail time, just a fan theory. Someone didn't mention that before he got shot, in the opening of Child's Play 1, he has done jail time in his past, but he had got free, killed some people, and then got shot and put his soul in the doll. I don't remember it either, but somebody had mentioned that in the comments of one of the videos. I haven't fact checked it at all, but who knows? Maybe they were wrong. What's up, Dinah? How are you doing? I missed your Saturday night live streams. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I'm doing pretty good today. I'm glad you were able to make it, Dinah. I want to see a team up between young Elena and Kate Bishop, or Yelena and Kate Bishop. I don't know if we'll get a team up, but they're definitely going to be in the same room together at one point or another. I just want a Nightwing movie. One day, maybe. One day. They were supposed to be making one, and then that got sidelined. They've been talking about it again, and still nothing. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It can't be DCEU unless the Flash fixes the timeline, because in the DCEU, Dick Grayson's dead. Do you see? Well, technically, in the Justice League canon, it's never said or stated or implied. So they could still fix it and have it be DCEU. Um, or it'll end up being its own thing. I don't know. Do you see the MCU continuing for another 30 years or so if you see reboots of these characters? Parts of me feel like we'll never see a new Tony Stark Iron Man or movie in our life. I think as long as it's in Disney's hands and the MCU doesn't collapse over the weight of its own continuity, I think we will see a progressive story until it collapses, man. I think it'll outlast this whole thing. And as long as they keep that continuity, we probably won't, unless they do like multiverse stuff. Once they get into the multiverse, they can bring in alternate versions of the characters. They can have other actors playing the characters. They can do whatever they want. So we can see characters come back with new actors, but it'll be, I think we'll still have one continuous narrative for a long time. Honestly, didn't think there would be another season of Chucky, but I'm glad there is. Me too, man. Me too. I think Black Adam could be one of those movies that will be underrated as long as they don't overdo the special effects. I'm really excited for Black Adam. I have some high hopes for it. Just had Chinese takeaway. Very yummy glass of peach gin. What's your favorite go-to takeaway food? Pizza. Oh, takeaway. I mean, does pizza really count? I don't know. Pizza, if not, Chinese is good. Chinese is good, but I'm more of like a hibachi kind of guy. So I like to order, like for takeout, I'll get like a hibachi salmon or filet mignon and fried rice and gyoza and all kinds of stuff from like one of the Japanese places up here. It's really good. That's my go-to. I kind of order it a little too much anymore. Finally saw the Eternals 2 weeks ago, and I loved it. I remember, like, when I saw you pop up in here, I was like, there was something that she hadn't seen yet that I was like, I need to know what you think when you saw it. It was Eternals. That was it. So you liked it. Awesome. So you're on the other side of the fence. You're on the side of the fence with me. Woo! Join the club. Welcome, Dinah. Sometimes I feel like the Battle of New York is more important than the blip. It seems like it, man. We keep coming back to it. We keep coming back to the Battle of New York. Everything seems to center around the Battle of New York anymore. It's one of the most formative moments in this universe. I think Thanos would have got curb stomped. Oh yeah, if the Eternals and the Ten Rings were there, he would have definitely got curb stomped. Ahsoka and Luke are my favorite Star Wars heroes, and I'm excited for the Ahsoka solo series. It's almost not even Ahsoka solo series. It's really just Rebels Part 2. Because Sabine's going to be in there. Ezra's going to be in it. Obviously, Ahsoka's going to be in it. Hayden Christensen's going to be in it. It's going to be a crazy show, though. I'm excited. Really excited. Ahsoka has become one of my favorite characters in the last 10 years in Star Wars. I want to get back into Young Justice. Has Season 4 been good so far, and how is Season 3? Season 3 was not bad, but I didn't really care about much of what was happening in Season 3. Season 4 so far has been really good. Really good. What is the worst video game you have ever played? Shit, I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember the name of it. It was on PS2. No, or was it a PS3 game? It might have been. It was either, I think it was a PS3 game. It was some samurai, not hack and slash, but kind of. I don't remember what it was called at all. It was awful. I don't remember the name. I blocked it out of my memory. I rented it once and it was like, fuck this. I took it right back. I was like, I don't even want to have this anymore. Get rid of it. I don't remember what it was, though. I can't tell you the name. That's the worst game I've played. I wish I could remember it. My opinion, Eternals was just okay. Would have been better if they stuck to one story all the way through. I like the jumping around. I think it helped. But I get that. I respect your opinion. And you're not alone in that opinion. A lot of people felt the same way. Do you think there's a connection between Infinity War and The Incredibles? Because in The Incredibles there was a scene with the helicopter crashing into a building just like an Infinity War credit scene. I highly, highly doubt it. Excited for Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse trailer / news today. I am, whenever and whatever it ends up being. Because has anything been posted yet? I don't think so. And it's still not clear what it's actually going to be. Is it a trailer? Is it a poster? Is it just news? Don't know. Something Spider-Verse 2 is supposed to come out this weekend and today. And I haven't seen anything yet. Now that I think about it, other than Monica Rambeau, all of the new heroes weren't blipped. Yeah. You're not wrong. Hope we see John Bernthal return as Punisher. He was perfect. I agree. But I don't know how Disney would do it. I don't know how they would do the Punisher without. I don't think Disney. One, you do not tone down Punisher. If they do Punisher, they need to do Punisher hard and gritty, like has been done. They cannot tone that character. The character does not work without it being the way it was. And Dinah, thank you for joining the team, the crew, the Omniverse. Welcome, fellow adventurer. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know. I think another thing that prompted that too is John Bernthal was talking about it here recently. He was like saying that same thing. To tone down or lighten the character of the Punisher would be a disservice to the character, and I 100% agree. Daredevil, I think you could get by with it, even though I don't think Daredevil at all, like even the show, I don't think it ever really got that hard, and I think it could be fine keeping the level that it was at. To come into Disney's court. But the Punisher, you gotta play it like it is, man. You just can't. It's like, why even do it if you're not gonna go full in? Can't believe Superman and Lois will be back in 5 weeks. Time flies fast. I agree, man. I'm surprised it's coming so soon. I'd love to play Cyclops in the MCU, but I'd be scared he'd be done dirty again. Yeah, man, Cyclops does not have a great track record so far. Not at all. What other Arrowverse heroes do you want to see Flash team up with most? We got to team up with Diggle. We got the Jefferson team up, kinda. Those two are my favorite pairing, I think. Aside from Barry and Sarah, or Barry and Kara, and Barry and Oliver. Let's do a Barry and Sarah team up. That's who I want to see. Barry and Sarah. Or Barry and Constantine. I'm excited for the Last of Us TV show since I love the games and the characters. Me too. And while I love the casting that we got in there as well, like Pedro Pascal. I'm excited, man. I love that dude so much. Him as Joel. Obviously, because of the character being the way the character is in the games, it's not the casting that would have leapt to me off the page. And I'm one of those people that do like things to be as authentic as possible, but I'm not bothered by it in the slightest. Mainly because I just love Pedro Pascal. I'm excited to see what they do with this show. And little Liana Mormont coming in as Ellie. So I'm excited. They'll be able to flesh out some of the elements of these the world a little bit, live in it. I think it'll be the new Walking Dead. We'll see. I feel like everybody's happy with that the Walking Dead is ending. I know I am. Except I will be very vastly annoyed if the main show ends without Rick in it. Do you think it was Clint in the Ronin suit who killed Echo's dad? I think Kazi on Kingpin's orders, which will mess her up and turn her against Kingpin. One theory is that maybe Clint wasn't the first Ronin and that it was actually his master, Jack Duquesne, was the first Ronin, which is why he wanted that sword so badly. Who knows? I don't know. That'd be an interesting twist. I don't think it's Kazi, though. I don't think it's Kazi, but that would be interesting. You think George Miller's canceled Justice League Mortal movie would have changed the comic book movie genre forever? I feel like they dodged a bullet by not keeping Armie Hammer as Batman. Yeah, surprisingly enough, that's a long con bullet they dodged there with Armie Hammer. I don't know. I really don't know. The movie definitely looked interesting and promising in some aspects, but I really don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's just as much as saying, like, well, how do you think the movie landscape would have been if that Nick Cage Superman movie had been made? I don't know. I have no idea what it would have done. And thank you for a super chat, Scott, there. Scott Edwards with a super chat. If we do get an Arrowverse film, what do you think the story should be? Damn, I don't even know, man. I would have imagined, like, you could do something like Crisis on Infinite Earths, because that'd be movie-worthy. Infinite Crisis, maybe? Or... Flash Wars. The Flash Wars. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. I miss Hawkeye's quiver from the first Avengers. Can we get Yelena and Kingpin in Hawkeye episode 4? Possibly. Possibly. Paige and Eric's Reloaded said Supergirl season 6 was the worst season ever. Do you agree? Personally, I agree. I personally agree. It didn't feel like a final season to me, and the plot was too video gamesy. No, I don't. I think season 5 is leagues worse than season 6 was. The plot was very meh. It was very lackluster as far as like a series finale kind of thing. It didn't feel like a final season to me either, except for the final moments with everybody. The plot of the final season didn't really feel like final season plot kind of stuff, but the conclusion felt right. But like it just how we get there really didn't. As far as worst season, no, not even remotely close. Season 5, like I've said many times, is the worst, in my opinion, the worst television I've seen. Pointless. Maybe even worse than Titans season 1 even. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough call. Gotta say, Bullseye and Daredevil season 3 was insane. In a good way. Yeah, man. I think they did him really well. I hope that's what you meant, because I think they did him really well. Just wait for the revamp of the MCU. If Netflix Daredevil's Bullseye comes back, I will flip. That would be awesome. Daredevil versus Shang-Chi. In a hand-to-hand fight without the rings, I think Shang-Chi could probably beat him. I think Shang-Chi would probably beat Daredevil. Who's your favorite villain in Daredevil season 3? Bullseye or Fisk? Bullseye. Bullseye. Favorite cookie? I'm a simple man. Pepperoni pizza and chocolate chip cookies. Sorry. Quake versus Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is a multiversal being. And I also have only seen up to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3? 2 or 3, one of them. So yeah. So I don't know much, but Scarlet Witch is stronger than anybody we've seen in the MCU so far. Potential wise, at least. Which one are you excited for in January? Superman and Lois season 2 or Peacemaker? Superman. Way more excited for Superman than Peacemaker. Don't get me wrong. Superman and Lois season 2 is way higher of a priority than Peacemaker, while I'm excited to watch Peacemaker. Season 6 was good. Don't think it was supposed to feel like a final season, but more like an open cliffhanger so Melissa could come back if she wants to. Yeah, but it should have felt conclusive in some way, I think. I think. Am I the only one that thinks that the lack of marketing for Book of Boba Fett? The show comes out in like 3 weeks. I feel like, I mean, it's we've got 2 trailers for it. There's been a lot of TV spots coming out here lately for it, posters, jackets. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm more paying attention to it, but I don't know what it's like on cable or anything like that. But I don't know. I don't know. What's up, GX? How are you? Sorry I'm late. No reason to apologize. But I'm doing well. The Incredibles movie tie-in game might be the worst game I've played because the controls are so frustrating. Never played it. Never played it. A lot of movie tie-in games, though, innately pretty bad. Imagine if the MCU fights got caught on the news, including Tiamat rising up, Spider-Man fighting Mysterio, the events of the Endgame, Shang-Chi fighting the Mandarin. Okay. Spider-Verse 2 director Kemp Powers said that something cool would drop today. That's all we know so far. I do like the Eternals movie. There's just too many characters to follow. Too much, yeah. I get that. Somehow I was able to kind of latch on to most of them, considering how many characters there were. Again, like I said in my review, it would have worked way better as a series, I think. By what we've seen in the Batman promos, do you think Batman could take the Punisher? Oh, fuck yeah. Like, if in hand-to-hand, yeah. In all of it, with all of his gear? Probably not. Thank you. I've been meaning to join for quite some time. I'm happy to be part of the crew. And remember, join the Discord while you're at it. Do you have any fan casts for a superhero role that you really want to happen? Yeah. I would really love it if Anthony Starr played Eobard Thawne in the DCEU. That's probably the biggest one that I've got, because there's not a lot of times I see an actor I'm like, you need to play X and X person. You just look like this character. Fucking A, Anthony Starr needs to play Eobard Thawne. After what I've seen with him in The Boys and stuff like that, I would love to see him as the Reverse Flash. Why hasn't Hawkeye used these arrows in the 3rd episode ever? Fuck if I know, man. I don't know. I know most people are hating on the new Resident Evil movie, but I'm kind of excited since it's going to be accurate to the games. I still have not got to see it because of everything going on last week and our trip, and then I have not been able to get out to see it this week. I'm going to maybe see it tonight. I don't know. I want to see it. It looks awful, but I want to see it because of how it's trying to be a little more game accurate. I'm very excited, but I've not heard great things about it. But I definitely want to check it out myself. Regardless, I imagine, but good or bad, I imagine it'll be fun to watch. At least, I'm pretty confident it's going to be a fun watch. I feel like the finale of The Flash will be him vanishing. We're past that. Why would he vanish? We're past all of that. That's all gone. That storyline's, we've crossed that bridge. Okay, so now, unless it just happens again for some reason. Okay, so now Daredevil with 5 rings versus Shang-Chi with 5 rings. I mean, I said that's the same as them having nothing. That's equalizing them. Like I said before, if it's fist to fist and that's it, that's essentially what this comes down to. I think as far as it goes, I think Shang-Chi would probably win. You'd have to give Daredevil the 10 rings, and then we'll see how that goes. Do you think they realize people are now picking... They are picking now for Young Avengers will look too old for the movie when they do it? I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're definitely right, especially considering Speed and Wiccan. Jean Grey versus Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch. Looking back, I don't think there's a final season of Supergirl affected the ending of the series that much aside from Alex and Kelly's relationship. Oh yeah, not at all. Yeah, you're right. No impact on how the show actually concluded. Also love chocolate chip cookies. I make them all the time. They don't last very long. Peacemaker looks kind of cheap. Really? I disagree. It looks like it's got the money to me. Stop watching The Flash, Supergirl CW. I can't get into it now. It's too cringe and the way too over the top. I'd give Flash Armageddon a watch. It's the closest it's been to old school Flash in a long time so far. Given it's a special event, doesn't mean it's going to last into the rest of the season, but it's really good. It's really good so far. Crazy that Pedro in Shazam was almost Superman. Really? I didn't realize that was the same person. That's cool. Thank you, Lucky, for the super chat. Bro, I'm late to the party. Did you get your tickets for No Way Home? I have. Did I have trouble? I did. The sites, it took me it was like 4 in the morning. No, I bought them the next day because I could not get it to load at all night long. I'm going Thursday night before to watch it in 3D. I'm watching it standard the night before it drops. So yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. Just not in 3D. I did get my tickets, not at the theater I wanted to go to, but at a theater that I do go to quite often anyway. So it's not too big of a pain. It's just I wasn't able to reserve any seats because this theater doesn't allow for it. So I got to get there early so I can get some primo seats. What's up, Darren? What's up, buddy? How are you doing? I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing all right, man. There were 2 Book of Fett trailers. Are you sure? I think there was only one. I think there was like a teaser and then a trailer, and then there's been a bunch of TV spots. What comic book city do you think would be the worst place to live? Gotham. Fucking hands down Gotham. Fuck Gotham. I would never want to live in Gotham if I lived in any of these cities. Who wins Arrowverse Arrow versus MCU Hawkeye? Well, Hawkeye has a bigger budget on his trick arrows, apparently. Considering we just saw what he did with that Hank Pym arrow. So, before last week's episode, I would have easily said Oliver. If we're just talking non-trick arrows, Oliver. If we're talking, like, with his new kit and everything, I don't know, man. It, as much as I love Ollie, man, Hawkeye, his kit is, like, decked out for some reason. Like somebody mentioned earlier, I forget already because it scrolled past, is like, where were these arrows any of the time like he's been in any of these weird situations before? Because they would have definitely been helpful. Andy Starr is such a goated actor. I still need to watch his other show, Banshee. Personally, I would fan cast him as MCU's Norman Osborn. I think he looks he's too much a young face for that, I think, for me. 6 rings for the Daredevil, 7 to the Dwarven Lords. I don't remember the count for that. You know what I'm going. 1 ring to rule them all. You know what I was getting at. Anyway. I can't remember. I can't remember the counts for that. Anyway. If you give Daredevil, I'd go with Daredevil. I'd go with Daredevil in that situation. What show do you think will end last? Like, which will last the longest? Honestly, I feel like, if anything, The Flash I think it can go longer than any of the other shows. But I feel like just out of pure spite, I think it might be Batwoman. Has anyone head exploded in Peacemaker's trailer? Not that I noticed. I really want Kate Bishop and Peter Parker interaction. I feel like that'd be so funny. Oh, that'd be so funny. Yes, I agree with that. Didn't even know there was a new Resident Evil movie out. It's out right now. Go check it out. Maybe, if you can. Possibly. I'll let you know what I think when I finally see it. It looks bad. But, yeah. My cinema still has places to reserve. It's only 3D in the day of that's fully booked. Darren's doing good. Awesome. What do you think of the Spectacular Spider-Man? I have not watched it. I have not seen it. I've heard good things about it, but I have not seen it. The last Spider-Man animated series I watched was the MTV cel-shaded series. That was the last one I had watched. There's a new one out, more accurate to the early video games. Blah, 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 blah. What's up, Cam J? I'm doing all right. Just hanging out for a little while. I'm going to get some food here in a minute and maybe go see this new Resident Evil movie finally. What's my favorite Black Widow costume in the MCU? I love her looks in Iron Man 2, the Avengers 1, but I think my favorite costume was in Winter Soldier. You know what? Hold on. Let's find out. Widow MCU outfits. I'm gonna go with Winter Soldier. It's probably my favorite. Though I do like her Infinity War vest and gear and stuff, but for obvious reasons, I'm gonna go with the 2014 Winter Soldier. Time to choose, Omni. You can only get one villain to get an arc on the Flash: Red Death or Cobalt Blue. Cobalt Blue. I would go with Cobalt Blue because I feel like that would integrate into the stories we've seen so far and really take us back to season 1 of The Flash really hard. As cool and awesome as Red Death would be, it would make zero fucking sense. And honestly, the stakes wouldn't really wrap into the characters and all. There's a lot of like layers and threads and tests of the characters and their mettle and their love that you could really pull with Cobalt Blue. So I would go with Cobalt Blue if I could choose. I'd rather have Andy Starr be Doctor Doom over Thawne. I mean, he'd just have the mask on, so like, what's the point? I'm going to try to do the impossible, stay off social media for 2 weeks until I watch Spider-Man. Going to be tough, but it's for the greater good. Man, I say that all the time, but then again, I have to go and post stuff, obviously, for the channel and whatnot. And I idle scroll so often, especially when I'm taking a dump. You know, sometimes you just got to scroll some shit while you're taking a shit. And I've spoiled myself on quite a few things just because I took a dump and opened my phone. TMI, probably, but sorry. I'm honest here. Captain Marvel and Icarus versus Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern. Captain Marvel and Icarus. If we're talking live action versions. Easy. If we're talking comic book versions, Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern would whoop the shit out of both of them. What's my favorite? I think I already read that one. Whoops. Oh, I skipped that one. I'm just all over the place. Do you think Flash will end in season 10? I don't know. Don't know. Do not know. They announced in February that the Flash season 8 is the last. Would I be sad? As long as they go out with a bang, yeah, I will be sad. Especially because that will be pretty much most... like, what's left of the Arrowverse will just be, like, none of what started it, for the most part. I'll be really sad to see that come to a close and, like, it lessen, like, the connectivity of it all. I wish all these shows could have kept on going. Like, I wish Arrow could have stuck around. I understand why they did what they did. Supergirl I could do with or without. Like, for whatever. It was never good. It was okay at its best for me. But yeah, I would be sad for sure. My partner told me the other day there's a new Resident Evil movie. Apparently it's more true to the games than the previous movies. He's really looking forward to watching it. That's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to watching it too. Plus, Kaya Scodelario is in it. Now, I think she's a phenomenal actress. Who also, Robbie Amell is in it as Chris. So, Arrowverse team. Ronnie Raymond is over there. playing Chris Redfield. But Kaya Scodelario is in there as Claire, and she's a phenomenal actress. She's just like gets these weird campy roles. I don't know if she's just going out of her way to get a lot of these roles, but she's such an underrated actress, man. She's so good. And like as far as like what's been theatrical that she's been in the last couple years, it's mostly been like these weird B movies. Like there was Crawl, which she was in, but she was great in that. Now this, I think the last franchise kind of big thing she was in was I think she was in the Maze Runner stuff, but I never watched any of those. She's really good. But she just hasn't been, as far as like movies she gets to be in, she's not getting very lucky. And I don't know if it's just the movie she chooses or if it's just what she gets. I don't know. She's so good. My small little cinema in Ireland has a meal deal on Wednesday, so I'm going to launch popcorn, a large Coke for free along with Spider-Man tickets, so it'll be an extra smug seeing it early. Rub it in, Ragu. Rub it in. So for the episode 4 of The Flash, and I despise the show after last season, feels good to be on positive side for once. I agree. Really love the Black Widow's white costume in Black Widow. I agree. It was very underused, and it looked really good. For the Prison Breakout, fought only a couple people wearing it. I really like the white outfit, too. Who'd win, King Kong or the Hulk? Normal Hulk, not Professor Hulk. Which King Kong? And I'm assuming we're talking MCU Hulk. So are we talking classic King Kong, or are we talking Monsterverse King Kong? I'm guessing the only one... I guess I'm the only one who thought that Kate shot the arrow with the multiple ropes at the Christmas tree lot. Who thought? When Kate shot the multiple ropes at the Christmas tree lot, I quickly thought Arrow was inspired by Spider-Man's webbing. That was my thought, too. I was like, is this supposed to be a Spider-Man arrow? That's what I thought, too. I just didn't say it in the reaction. So my little cousin loves Clifford the Big Red Dog. So guess what? I was forced to watch it with them because their parents wanted me to. How was it? I never watched Clifford growing up, so I didn't have any attachment to seeing that movie, so I've never seen it. Red Death could be Oliver. Ooh, I didn't think about that. I couldn't think about that. I was like, it wouldn't make sense. Bruce Wayne in this universe. I was like, you could bring Warren Christie in and have him be Red Death, but what tie does that actually have to this universe all that much? Not much. Have Oliver come back as Red Death. That'd be interesting. But Stephen Amell in a speedster suit has not looked great so far. Completely forgot Eddie is coming back to the Flash. Did you see the new Flash photos for the next episode? I have. I like the past Resident Evil movies, but I like how accurate the new one is because of how it's filmed. Yeah, the past Resident Evil films are their own classification of so bad, it's so fun to watch. I just watched a like 2-hour like breakdown of the whole Paul W.S. Anderson franchise, and the last 2 films I had never actually seen because I was so done with those movies. It's so bad, man, but they're so fun to watch. I want to see a what if Thor was a villain. Ooh, that'd be cool. What if he was like a tyrant king? What team-up movie would you want to see? For me, it's Deadpool and Spider-Man. Ooh, yes. Oh, I'd like to see that. Like a Deadpool and Spider-Man team-up. That'd be really cool. If I had to pick a different one, Wolverine and Hulk. How would you rank all the Spider-Man movies? So Spider-Verse. So this is best to worst. This is how I would rank them. Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2. Actually, no. I'm putting Spider-Man 2. That's my favorite. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Verse, Spider-Man, Far From Home, Homecoming, Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 1, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Let's see. Doesn't next year make 10 years the Arrowverse? They might do a big crossover. Hopefully they can bring in Steven and Melissa back. But yeah. Someone else mentioned that earlier, and it'd be cool, especially considering Steven's actually open to coming back. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Love Cayenne Mortal Engines. Never saw that one either. Underrated movie. I know there's still a couple weeks left in it, but how would you rank all of the Arrowverse shows for 2021? I mean, should I really count the seasons that we're in the middle of, like Legends season 7, Batwoman season 3, Flash season 8, or just the ones that we saw conclude? Canada. Yeah, Kai was in the Maze Runner, but I would love to see her in the MCU. Yeah, man. She needs some more, like, larger profile work. What if Aunt May died instead of Uncle Ben? Ooh, that's an interesting one. That's part of 2021. Well, f you, Canada. So these 3 episodes of The Flash are better than all of season 7 of The Flash. So Superman and Lois, number 1. Flash Armageddon. These 3 episodes have been better than every other Arrowverse thing this year, other than Superman and Lois. And let me know if I forget anything. So, Legends season 7, Batwoman season 3, Black Lightning season 4, Batwoman season 2, Supergirl season 7, 6, Flash season 7. Oh yeah, I forgot Legend season 6. Legend season 6 is above Batwoman season 2. Anyway, I think that's where I'll go with that. What if Rocket had an all animal team? Okay. Oh shit, I skipped a couple. Sorry. You should go over Empire's top 100 movies of all time, and it's an interesting list. Maybe we can do that'd be an interesting little read through. I guarantee there's a bunch that I've not seen. Imagine if Hawkeye and Arrow met. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. I don't know, to be honest. I fell asleep and told my cousin to wake me up when it ended. Lord of the Rings is about to turn 20 in a couple weeks. Do you remember the when the Fellowship came out? I saw it in theaters. By myself. Because when I went to see it, I went with like my grandparents, who was taking all my little cousins and extended family out to the theater, and they all wanted to see this really stupid kiddie movie. I can't remember what they wanted to saw, and I was just like, can I please see a different movie? And I went and saw Fellowship of the Ring while they were watching something else, and I just sat in the back of the theater watching that movie, which is funny because that lasted way longer than whatever kiddie movie they watched. So I think they had to wait an hour for me to get out of my movie. So yeah, I remember seeing that when it came out, man. When I was younger, I didn't really appreciate it because I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I liked it, and I liked the Two Towers. The first time I watched The Return of the King, I didn't like it for some reason. I don't know why. I wasn't really paying attention to it. We was at a party when we were watching it. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at a party with a bunch of friends from choir. So like, I wasn't really paying attention to it. But like, I appreciated The Lord of the Rings, but like, I wasn't really into it then. I didn't really appreciate it then. Like, I kind of thought, I was one of those, it's just walking, boring kids. And now I'm just like, now I love it though. I've watched the extended editions, I think 3 times through in the past 2 months. And I just got all of the books because I haven't actually read them. I'm going to be watching through them. Honestly, it was just one of those kid things. Like when I was younger, I was just like, they didn't hold my attention that much. Like I liked it. They were fun. They were beautiful. But I didn't really gravitate to them at that age for some reason. I don't know why. Stephen Amell in the Flash suit is just weird to see. It was funny as fuck though. That crossover, while not as ambitious, was a lot of fun, and I loved it, man. One of these streams, you should do a MCU tier list. We can do that. We can do that one of these days. Tom looks more buff than Grant in those photos. Oh yeah, yeah, I did. Oh yeah. Which was funny from the side profile, like the 30-degree angle, the 45-degree angle they had on that shot, he looked really good. But then if you see like Tom in the suit from just a direct front shot, it looked a little weird to me. I don't know why. The only reason I watched the past Resident Evil movies is because I had a crush on the main actress. Fair enough. Mila Jovovich. I don't think I said that right, but whatever. Stories of Spider-Man's visual effects are still being worked on. It's still worrying. I hope there's not a lot of noticeable bad stuff in the important moments. We'll have to see. Stargirl Season 2 is better than Armageddon, in my opinion. Well, I guess that's fair. Oh, no. I don't know if I would say that yet, Kyle, that Season 2 is better than Armageddon. I just realized that I didn't include it in my Arrowverse breakdown. But then again, is it really Arrowverse? Is it? I don't know. Whatever. Is Season Legends actually been that good? I gave up on it at Season 7. It's way better than the last season so far. For sure. I've been mixed on Armageddon. It's better than the last season, but still has many issues. It's got a few. Not really anything unfamiliar, though. I'm loving Armageddon so far. Elvis made a breakdown of the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Oh, great. I guess we can get some dinner and watch that a little bit later. That dates me around 30. Aw, I'd date me around 32. But yeah. 30 plus, as Barry would seem to point out there, would be more accurate. 33, believe it or not. How many tickets you got for No Way Home? How many times am I going to see it? I only ordered one set. Got a group of 2. I'm going to go check it out. Me and my girlfriend. So we're going to be checking it out. And then after that, I'll probably go see it a few more times on my own. Empire Top 100 list would make a great video or live stream discussion. Half the picks are legit, half are ridiculous. Is this like a new list? How recently did this come out? Gopher? I remember Fellowship because it was a couple in front of us had an argument and left. It was odd. I think he was a book fan and he was like, "Why is this so long?" Probably. I'm not surprised by that. There's like 6 MCU movies on it. Did I miss something? Oh, on the top 100 list. Okay. So if there's MCU movies on it, then it's fairly recent. Hope the Obi-Wan show goes all out with the lightsaber fights. I mean, I can't imagine there being that many lightsaber fights, considering they got to be on the down low. But there will be a fight between him and Vader, which will be fun. I'm surprised we didn't get a character in the last episode of Flash they leveled up. What's fucking funny is I said that unironically in a conversation in my own house. It was like, you just gotta level up. I was like, fuck. And I caught myself and I was like, God damn it, Flash. What have you done to me? Ugh. Caught up. I caught up with the chat. Is Arcane the best TV show I've seen this year? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Is it my favorite show? No. Is it the best TV show that I've seen this year? Yes. Because I think my favorite show is still Superman and Lois that I've seen this year. but I would argue Arcane is still way better than that show. If we're talking like writing, pacing, acting, all that jazz. The Empire list is recent. It came out the other day. Okay, cool. Still need to finish Castlevania. I haven't watched any of the Powerhouse Castlevania show. And the Witcher. I'm caught up on Witcher, so I'm ready and waiting to go into season 2 when it drops. All right, so we're past the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to tap out, guys. So we caught up to the chat. So if you have any other questions, drop them in the Discord or in the comments on this video, and I will try to get back to you guys. But I'm going to go get some food, and then maybe go see this new Resident Evil movie. And I will let you know how bad it is, and at least if it's fun bad. I am not expecting this movie to be good. That's what I'm saying at the moment, at least. And then I still need to find time to see Encanto, so we'll see how that goes. When it said I love Imagine Dragons, I thought the enemy from... Yeah, I thought that too, Kyle. Adios, Canada. And Wheel of Time's getting some praise, man, but that trailer was garbage. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. It's a week-to-week release. 5 episodes behind. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. We'll see. But guys, I'm going to tap out. I'll see you guys later. Thank you all for coming in, hanging out, everybody who super chatted, and for Dinah for joining the crew. Everybody else, have a good evening and take care.